Hi. So, yes, I'm a physician, and more exactly a rheumatologist. And I'm also French, and I cannot hide it. So I'm super nervous today, really. And I actually worked a lot. You're going to see I spent over an hour working on the saw that you're about to hear. So, as a physician, I've had a lot of experiences listening to how we talk about our illnesses. It's really interesting that we tend to use words of war when we are talking about our conditions. She's an arthritis warrior. It's a war on depression. It's a fight against cardiovascular disease. She's slaying the cancer. I mean, it's as if we are characters in Game of Thrones. Whether we realize it or not, the language we use when we are talking about our diseases affects us. It affects the way we feel, the way we think, and probably also our recovery process. And look, while it's so important to have strength and resilience when we are affected with a severe condition, seeing ourselves against an invader, someone that's here fighting us, puts us in an antagonistic relationship against the thing we are trying to heal, our body. We are seeing the disease here and ourselves here. But wouldn't you say that in the vast majority of time, our illnesses are part of us? I mean, they share our DNA. In a way, they are us. It's also the way a lot of physicians are looking at this. We come into your room, and sometimes we don't even know your name. Oh, here's the case of the appendicitis, room 303. I was a little bit like this until very recently. I thought that my job was to provide ever more aggressive therapies to my patients, regardless of the toll it was taking on their own bodies. I was the general on the battlefield, offering them some munition. You've got rheumatoid arthritis? Oh yeah, I've got a dagger for you. You've got lupus? Something came up, a big sword. And you've got severe vasculitis? Don't you worry, we're from Games of Thrones. There's the dragon here. The truth is that for the vast majority of my adulthood, I learned how to be a physician. So I did my training in France, residency, fellowship, and then I repeated it at Columbia University in New York City. And because 14 years of studying is not painful enough, I extended my fellowship to learn how to do studies and research. So then I came to National Jewish when I moved to Denver, and I was so lucky to be in the Department of Rheumatology at National Jewish. And I worked hand in hand with some of the brightest scientists. Up until my 40th birthday, really all I ever knew was to be a doctor and a researcher. But when a little over 40, I had to deal with my own health crisis. I went from being a physician to being a patient in a matter of seconds. And my vision of disease changed almost immediately. You see, I couldn't come to terms with the idea that I needed to destroy whatever was in me, and that I was in a fight. I felt that my energy would be better used to heal. And it was serious. Stage 4 breast cancer, metastatic to the liver and the bone. People around me started helping me. You're going to win this battle. You're going to show us how it's done. You're a warrior. You're going to slay this cancer. The anxiety started bubbling up. And look, what I am so grateful for the high-tech medicine that the science has come up with and that I used and that are really the reason I am here today. I also made a conscious decision to lean in and take what there was to take from this experience, an experience to learn from. But it's not just me. My patients also, it doesn't work to be in this fighting. Because I'm not saying that we should wish or imagine our disease away or love them away. But rather, the science is clear that when we are stressed out, the cortisol level rises. That's detrimental to our healing process. So when you're first diagnosed with a serious condition, of course that's the mode you go to. Stressed out, you freak out, that's normal. But what happens if you can stay grounded and relaxed? Can we use this energy to heal? And we know now that we can stimulate the parasympathetic system, which is the opposite of this stressed system, this adrenergic system, and that this parasympathetic system can help us heal. The truth is that I didn't know if I would make it, and I didn't want to be fighting for the rest of my life. As I was saying, it's not just me, it's also my patients. And I'm going to give you the example of Mike. I'm calling him Mike. He's a patient that saw me in his late 30s. And he had rheumatoid arthritis, which is an inflammatory arthritis that causes a ton of inflammation, causes destruction of the joint if you don't take care of it, and possibly inflammation of your heart, vessel, lung, and so on. And he had this rheumatoid arthritis for over 10 years. And he had not been in remission for all this time and was very angry with the medical body. In fact, I was probably his 10th rheumatologist, and when he came to my room, to the examine room for the first time, I could feel the anger in his look. I mean, he had horrible rheumatoid arthritis. You could see the joint. They were like big, swollen, painful from across the room. And he had a cane at a little bit over 30 because of the pain that he had in his hips. So I had nothing to lose. And I asked him, I was like, hey, have you ever thought that maybe this rheumatoid arthritis has brought you something good? I could see him. All right, so this is probably my 10th rheumatologist, and this one, she is flat out crazy. I offered him a treatment plan. I had no idea if we would take it. I mean, he had not taken anything earlier on. And I told him, here, I'll see you in 3 months. He came back. No more pain. No more joint swelling. He had taken the treatment. And he tells me, you know, I thought about what you said. I had never thought of it, but yes, this rheumatoid arthritis brought me something. It allowed me to realize that I could open my own business, that I should start to travel. And really, in a way, I am so grateful for this rheumatoid arthritis. I am grateful for it. He had stopped fighting his condition. And it's not just Mike, it's other patients. I sometimes ask them, often in fact, because I love their answer. It brings me joy. And it tells so much about who they are. So what this disease brought you, have you ever thought of this? And one decided to retire early because she realized that her time with her grandkids was more important for her. Another one decided to travel. A last one decided that to end a relationship that was abusive because they realized that it had taken a toll on their body. The secondary effects of this question are endless, and they're so good. My experience is that when my patients are able to answer that questions, they are able to work with their condition and with their rheumatologist. And that allows them to reach what we call in rheumatology, treat to target. The target is disease remission or minimal disease activity, which is one joint swollen or tender, that's it. But it's not just my patients. The research, there's more and more research that are showing that when we are looking at the parasympathetic system, which is the opposite of the stress system, that when we are able to stimulate that system, we are able to heal. We are able to stimulate the immune system in a good way. All right, so it's not easy to go away from this mindset of attacker and attack, but it can be done. All right? It first starts with acknowledging that our diseases are not the enemy, but are part of us. A recent Harvard study showed that patients who had severe condition, when they considered that their disease was part of their identity, had better sense of control over their health outcome and better level of resilience. When it comes to the rheumatology world, in rheumatoid arthritis, there's a meta-analysis from 2020 that showed that patients with rheumatoid arthritis that do mind-body connection, meditation, and so on, have less level of depression and less level of pain. Meta-analysis are the highest level of studies, evidence, in medicine, because they are studies of studies. So it also means that we are acknowledging the worst case scenario, because that allows us to concentrate on what truly matters. And ask a real question, which is, what is this health experience going to bring me? And that is what I want to leave you with. The next time that you or a loved one has to deal with a health issue, don't just react and go into this mindset of attacker of attack, but rather lean in and collaborate with your condition so that you can tap in an incredible reservoir of resilience and healing potential. Don't hunker down. Stop, take a breath, and ask yourself, what are you going to learn from this health experience? Thank you.